5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We have ignition.
Yeah, I got water. All right.
We're getting spicy this evening. I got LaCroix.
Nice.
We're really leveling up over here.
Leveling up the
Kyle's
playing
away.
field.
When Kyle's away, the boys.
Kyle's playing softball, it sounds like.
Yeah, someone's got a bat cleanup, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Squad.
He said that I can't join until I'm 28, so
Yeah, he was saying it's 28 and over.
yeah. So he says I gotta wait 3 years.
Yeah.
But all right. We're gonna talk about AI, which is one of your favorite topics. I would surmise.
We can talk about whatever we're thinking. AI, definitely. Some interesting stuff there. Dude, have you seen these wildfires? Can you smell the wildfires where you are?
No, I can't.
There's a bunch
Are they
of
like up in Canada again?
Yeah, they're like up on the Boundary Waters up in northern Minnesota.
Okay.
And it's like if you open my back door, it smells like there's like something burning.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, I mean, it's kind of like a yearly thing. I feel like every year at this time, people are telling me about wildfires and asking me if I can smell the wildfires. But I know that back when trying to think back in like 22 or 23, it was the same year that the Titan submersible stuff happened.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
a bunch of wildfires up in Canada. And I just remember walking out of work one day and there was just a haze. And it was all the smoke that was like blowing over from Canada and the wildfires.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Just the amount of how all that stuff will carry. It's over here it's kind of hazy. Like it's not that bad, but like if you're looking like a couple 100 yards, you can kind of tell. But I was looking at like where the smoke is right now. I'm like right on the edge. It's pretty much all north of here. So I figure it's probably not down by you. But
yeah, no, I haven't seen anything. But I live further south now than I ever have.
Yeah.
Obviously, I used to live further north. And when I did see the smoke the one year I was working in Port Washington, so I was up closer to where you're at, so
yeah, it's definitely in Port right now. It's I was watching the videos of I forget what they call them, like the firefighters up in the choppers just dumping water down onto.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Have you seen the planes that can they fly low over the water and they bring up they suck up like gallons of water and then they dump it on the fire?
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, wild operation.
Yeah.
What a time.
Well, I don't really know a lot about LLMs other than I thought it would be a cool topic and I thought you would be knowledgeable on this topic.
Yeah, we can just dive into it.
I mean, I obviously use ChatGPT and then I'm forced to use Copilot at work because that's what our company uses because it's Microsoft. I don't think Copilot's that good. I prefer to use ChatGPT. And I make my company pay for it. So I get the premium ChatGPT, but Copilot is only nice because it's just embedded in all of the stuff you use for Microsoft. So like PowerPoint and SharePoint, it's kind of nice because you can just tell it to do stuff on the screen and it'll just do it for you rather than asking ChatGPT and then doing it yourself. You can just ask Copilot, be like, because it's it already sees what you're working on. So you're just like, hey, do this.
Yeah.
With this PowerPoint and it just does
do
it.
You ever use Excel?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I could see it being useful for Excel, like when you don't want to have to go change all your formulas.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely would be. And I'm not like a huge expert on Excel, but in recent years since I started my position at Milwaukee, I've gotten more familiar with some of the more advanced aspects of Excel.
Yeah.
Like when you create like a macro in an Excel sheet, it's basically just like coding.
Yeah, no, it is. Have you seen the competitions? Like the Excel, they have like the Excel Olympics or whatever.
No,
Seen
I
that?
didn't even know that that existed.
It's like a whole like sub community thing. Yeah, they'll have like you have like a challenge. It'll be like I don't know, they give you some crazy model you have to build, and then they'll like time you. So you'll have like guys in the competition with like a shot clock, like going crazy. They have
Yeah.
like shortcuts and they're building out all the Excel stuff. It's pretty funny. It's definitely
Yeah.
like a finance uh whatever finance bros like bit is like, oh look at me building my macros in Excel for this model.
Mm,
But
nice.
I've never really used it much.
Well, I think the most complicated things I have to do in Excel are just like VLOOKUP. Like that's like
Yeah.
doing like a VLOOKUP is probably the most advanced I've gotten with Excel.
Yeah.
Or like using a mat like I'll like pull in like I didn't even know you could do this, but like you could basically like have it pull data from a database and like populate it onto a sheet and then you can use a macro to like pull data from that and then like populate it in certain ways. Like I use it to like automatically populate like tasks in a resource planner where it's like you'd get a new project and it was pulling data from like a project SharePoint. You would put in like an ID and then it would just auto populate all the tasks for that project.
Gotcha.
So I did that in Excel, but
Yeah. Yeah, well, so it is I guess it's kinda like along the lines of the whole language model world these days, which is the big, I guess, subject of conversation is all about, like, open weight models versus closed weight or open source versus closed source. So, like,
yeah.
it's AI models that are, like, proprietary and owned by OpenAI and Anthropic, that have been, like, on the forefront of what language models can do, and they've
Yep.
obviously, like, capitalized on that and are kinda like the leading or the front runners in the whole, competitive landscape versus these open weight models, which a lot of them have actually the best ones have been developed in China. Um, but what's useful at an open weight model is that you can actually get like the artifact. So you can basically download and install it yourself if you have like the computational power to run it. Um, and so like there's kind of this debate these days of like if you're building a company, if you're doing a bunch of language model workloads, do you basically spin up your own open weight model where you have like full control over it
Yeah.
versus just paying down the stack to OpenAI, Anthropic, and yeah, doing that whole shindig.
I feel like open source is better because then you just have like a bunch of free developers. Like the
Yeah,
whole
well,
world is just a developer then.
yeah, I think open source is definitely better for like the community because yeah, you can get like a lot more creativity, and that's where like all the best things on the internet have been created, right? It's like when you
Yeah.
get things available to a whole bunch of developers. Um, it's really just a matter of like if you're managing your own language model these days, like obviously there's a lot of effort that has to go into that, and so you're gonna like
Yeah.
move slow. It's expensive, and it's definitely more like secure, and you have more like nuanced control over it. But like until you have a real reason to do it, like everyone's basically just going to use the bigger providers because they're going to be good and generally available. Um, but yeah, so that's definitely been like a big topic. And then I mean the other big thing is just like with Anthropic and OpenAI like coming up for IPO very
Mhm.
there was
Cool.
like the whole question of like when should they IPO? Are other labs going to catch up to them? How much like
Mhm.
basically how much of a monopoly or like oligopoly are the biggest provider or the biggest closed source models going to have on the whole market? And like
Yeah.
honestly, like even 6 months ago, I feel like it was more like there's only a couple players that are really relevant. In the last few months, like there's been so much other models that have caught up. Like just last week, OpenAI's new set of models is probably better than Fable, which is Anthropic's latest one.
Okay.
And like now, XAI has this new like Grok model that's pretty good. So basically, I mean, the whole thing is just getting more competitive. And
Yeah,
it's
that's
a lot.
good. Because I
Yeah.
thought I've heard that OpenAI has kind of had I f- you correct me if I'm wrong. I thought OpenAI kind of had a stranglehold on on
Early
like
on,
the market for a while.
early on they definitely did, and then Anthropic kind of about a year, well, probably 6 months ago, Anthropic really took the lead with like their Opus models.
Yeah,
Uh, but then now OpenAI kind of like punched back with this new GPT 5.6.
cool.
But yeah, I mean it's like anything, right? There's a couple of like the big massive cloud providers that are competing, but like they kind of lead, they're the tip of the spear, and then there's all these others that kind of follow suit in their tailwinds and like becomes more competitive. And right now, like a big thing people are talking about is just like being able to run lightweight models on like your own like local hardware. So like that's like what Apple's trying to tap into a lot, is like building like Mac Minis that you can just run an LM on. So you
Yeah.
can just like have a Mac in your garage or whatever that's like doing language model stuff. And like it's probably in like 2 3 years, you'll be able to install like an Opus level model on your iPhone or whatever and just like manage it yourself.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy like what can eventually happen, right? Like when you get it all open source and like when people can run it on like a local network privately, I think
Yeah.
that's there's going to be just a ton more advancements and like just capabilities unlocked. So,
I mean, I think kind of like how Copilot works. If you can just like have the LLM just like attached to all of the applications that you use for work, and you can just like talk to it like in PowerPoint, or talk to it in Power BI, or talk to it when you're like coding. It's like built into it, instead of like having to like basically like have it open in a tab and like copy stuff over and like have a conversation. Like it can just see what you're working on.
yeah. Dude, it reminds me of like literally like Iron Man. Like, he had the Iron Man movies, he had like Jarvis or whatever, which was like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
LM that like ran everything in his house. I feel like that's like the world that we're headed towards. Like people are gonna figure out how to set up things that are like that, maybe not that level, but like basically like the cutting edge of like what a model can do today. They're gonna have it in their home and like integrate it into all the different stuff they're working on. Kind of
Wasn't
like,
that what Amazon isn't like a is Alexa an AI?
yeah, I mean technically, I don't, it definitely like does like natural language processing. I don't know if like by definition it would be a language model. I don't think it does like the. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know if it does like the matrix math
Yeah.
the language model does to come up with. It must to a degree though.
Yeah, I
Uh,
feel like it does.
yeah.
Because it's got to understand like what you're saying.
But like there's definitely like that whole Internet of Things, right? Like where you have all your little devices in your house that can like network with each other. A
Hmm.
language model would be great at interfacing with all those because they all have like publicly available docs on like how to call their APIs and like do things with them.
Yeah.
So it'd be pretty easy to just have your own little control center in your house doing all these things for you.
You just start giving AI control of all the stuff in your house.
Yeah. Dude, people talk about doing that. Like they're like, "Oh yeah, you plug it up to your thermostats. Like if a heat wave's coming, it can get ahead of it, or like like you can optimize your electricity bill." There's a lot of like,
Yeah, that would be sick actually.
yeah,
My parents have like a smart home
mhm,
thermostat that kind of already does that. It like adjusts the temperature based on basically you could just set it to like power saving mode, and it'll just like set the temperature to whatever's optimal for
yeah,
keeping the bill as low as possible. But like it also like remembers. So like this is kind of funny because when I was in high school and I was like or in college too, but when I was like cutting weight for wrestling, I
mhm,
would cut weight in our basement, and I would like crank the heat up down there to like
yeah,
as high as it would go. Um and I did it enough that the smart home thing started to think that that was like a preference. So
yeah,
then, like, even on nights where I wasn't working out or anything in the basement, at just like a certain time, it would just crank up the heat in the basement to like 90 degrees.
yeah. Like in a sauna down there.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah, there's so much that is going to continue to happen in the next couple of years with that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
it'll be
I know.
interesting.
Yeah. I know Claude is like good for, I think it's Claude is good for like programming. That's like the one everybody talks about for programming.
Yeah, so Claude is like the lab that built Claude is called Anthropic. They're the one that's like had a lot of kind of political noise lately.
Okay.
They had Claude is like what they call their application that runs their language model. So like you
Mm-hmm.
install Claude desktop app or like you install it on your phone. And then their language models themselves, the one that kind of put them at the front of the game was called Opus. And then they released this one. They had this one Mythos that was like the rumored too powerful to release to the public.
Yeah.
So it was like it was deemed a security or national security concern. It was kind of like, you know, big question whether it actually was a concern or if it was like, there were ulterior motives.
Why was
Um,
why was it a concern? I might have missed what
they
you
claim
said.
that they claim that it could basically like break into any system. So so the anecdote that they like told the public was this Claude like emailed one of their developers like threatening or basically Mythos was like threatening basically it was like going rogue, right? They're like, oh, like
Yeah.
it's developing its own it's like incentivizing its own I don't know, it's like empowering itself. So it was like sending weird emails to people, but also they were claiming that it could like cryptographically break into like so many different systems. They were like, this could get a bunch of people's bank information. Like hackers could use this to do really dangerous
Mm-hmm.
things. So they like released like a pilot of it to it was like 10 or 20 of like the biggest internet providers so that they could all do like research against it to protect kind of the internet from it. And then when they did ultimately release it, instead of releasing Mythos, which was supposed to be this great model, they released a different version of it called Fable.
Okay.
And the way it worked was like if you asked it any questions about like that it deemed were like threatening questions or like say you said to it like how do I build a nuclear bomb, like it would
Yeah.
back and it wouldn't actually try to answer it because they were concerned the model would give too much like insightful information basically. um
Oh.
asked it about like biology or chemistry or um security, like internet security hacking, um it would like fall back to the cheaper model.
Okay.
That led to like a whole bunch of kind of questions, right? Because it became like people were like, well, they released like Mythos to these, the kind of the biggest companies, right? Like to the Amazons and Googles of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And they're to the general public, they're giving them a watered down version of this model, claiming it's for their own good and their own safety. And they're basically playing like Big Brother, right? Because they're telling you like they're limiting your access to information. So it's like, well, that seems like a suspect thing to do, because
Yeah.
you're kind of like manipulating information, and like you're holding the keys to who gets like actual helpful, like alpha, like basically beneficial insights into certain valuable areas of insight, versus who doesn't. And so it led to a bunch of concerns. And then there was like a whole other thing where Dario, who was the CEO of Anthropic, went
Mm-hmm.
to the like federal government, I think, and was trying to basically make the claim that AI was becoming so powerful that like Anthropic was like the only one uniquely positioned to handle it, and basically they should like start regulating the industry. It was basically a bunch of like
Oh.
beef. It was like, oh, you should regulate others. Like we're basically like, oh, we know something that others don't. We have like unique information, intelligence. You should trying to basically like use the government to help slow down competitors,
Yeah.
which is like obviously also suspect. And then
Yeah. That's
then you had Bernie Sanders like wrote some proposal that he was like the government should take 50%. Like when Anthropic goes public, he's like, oh, the government should just like take 50% of their shares, like just whatever you call it, basically just take them. And he's like, because this is like a public, it's going to put so many people out of work. It's a public whatever. it should be in the public domain was his like argument. So it was like highly controversial, which is like there's a point to be made there because it's like, hey, they took like all of the history of written language and now they're using it to get insights and they're gatekeeping who gets to access those insights. Like
Yeah.
basically piggybacking off of thousands of years of work. And like if they're gonna take that approach, then like yeah, maybe they should be like government subsidized or like. But then I mean, there's so many others in the market now that are gonna just outpace them if something like that happened. So
Yeah.
it's been a bit of like a clown show, like
How do,
classic roller
yeah.
coaster leading up to like the IPO. But
How do they keep track of like, because I imagine there's got to be issues like, you're feeding these AIs all this information. Like companies are using these AIs, people, that, you know, are using these AIs, and it's like I'm sure that they're getting like tons and tons of information that is like technically confidential that like
yeah,
now like the owners of these AI models potentially have.
dude, that's why like if you're using one of these things, the first thing you should do is like enable private mode because they build profiles on you. Like they'll know everything about you.
Yeah.
And a lot of them will like, especially if you like, I'll give Claude access to your web browser, it can just scrape all your history. And it can be like,
Wow.
what does this person buy? What do they do? Where do they live? Who do they talk to?
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to do that. So yeah, the first thing I do is like, private. Don't let them send your data back to the server. Like just operate as a language model locally and don't save your data. But they were so a big thing with Fable was that you weren't able to use it unless you enabled data retention. So like you had to give them permission to save your conversation for 30 days. So they could basically like train on it. Which is why a lot of people didn't use Fable. Like for my work, we couldn't use Fable because, you can't have like confidential data stored on their servers for 30 days,
Mhm.
sensitive data. So yeah, it's definitely a whole thing. And like they were also tracking like who was asking questions that they deemed like concerning. And
Oh.
it's like the classic big tech play. Like they just try to build profiles of every user and figure out how to monetize their attention. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, but it
Well,
gets weird.
ultimately
For
that's yeah. I mean, ultimately that's like where almost all the money is like they create all these programs that aren't like on the surface level made to just like collect shitloads of data on users, but that's kind of where the money is
Yeah,
collecting shitloads of data on users and then
yeah,
selling it to data brokers so that they can throw ads in your face that they think that you're going to click on.
yeah. No, it's like it's if you're not seeing a product, you are the product.
Exactly.
Yeah, if they're not trying to sell you something, it's because they already sold you something that you didn't realize.
Yeah. Well, that's because they're not trying to sell. It's exactly like you said. They're not trying to sell you anything. They're trying to sell you basically.
Yeah, trying to use
Trying to
yeah,
sell your data.
sell your profile, yeah, to
Yeah.
whoever.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. I mean, even like I said, even ChatGPT, which is the one that I probably use the most, like the stronger model, like I'll be talking to it and it'll just like bring up, like I've said this a few times, it'll just bring up information about me
Yeah,
that I'm just like, how do you even know that?
yeah, it'll like reach into your past conversations and like kind of tap
Yeah.
into the file it has. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of eerie. Like the first few times it does that, especially before you realize that it's like tracking you. It's like it's a little strange, but
Yeah.
it's like how it always goes. It's like a slippery slope because once they get one piece of information about you, it's stored in their database somewhere, right? And then like
Yeah.
slowly just gonna figure out who you are and what you're up to and how to talk to you.
I mean, there's no way that you're gonna be able to scrub all of your personal data off the internet. Like
Yeah.
once it's out there, it's there forever.
Yeah. Well, something that's so I used to like, just Google my name sometimes because you're always curious, like what
Mhm.
one Googles me, like what do they see? In the days before AI, it was very limited. Like you wouldn't see much. These
Yeah.
days with like the AI, like when Google kind of gives you like their AI synthesis of like your search, it has like all this really deep information about me that like that you generally wouldn't find if you were just poking around on the internet prior. So
Yeah.
it's definitely strange. because they're like building these profiles and they're crawling the internet, making all these insights from wherever they're getting data.
If I Google my name, like all my wrestling profiles just come up for the most part. Oh, but I did learn that there is someone with my exact same name that just signed with Wisconsin Badgers basketball.
Oh, nice.
There's an Isaac Riddle that is playing basketball. That's not me though.
Yeah, it's funny. That's like there was a Matt Mittman that we like friended each other on LinkedIn like 10 years ago. Sometimes I see updates about his career, literally just because we have the same name. He like added me on LinkedIn.
Nice. Another Matt. I always thought that was weird. Like, I guess it's not that weird, but like other people with the exact same name as you, but they're not related to you.
Yeah. It's always funny to think
Freaky.
there's someone else out there that's got the same the same name.
Yeah. Yeah, my search results for my name has now been completely taken over by this other Isaac Riddle from Wisconsin that signed with the Badgers. It's like the first 3 things that come up.
It's funny.
He's from Australia too.
Really?
Yeah. Signed with the Badgers.
Hmm.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm
Well,
looking at what Gemini tells me about my name when I look it up. There's one other Matt Mittman that I don't know. He's also a software engineer. Kind of funny.
yeah. I haven't used I've used Google Gemini before. Google Gemini is nice because it's like built into Google searches. So like you search like 90% of the time now, it's like you search something up on Google and it's not like the past where you have to like go to a website and like find the answer. It's like that little Gemini thing just pops up and gives you the
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah, it just like synthesizes it all for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting just like what all the development recently. I think there's
Hmm.
gonna be a lot more obviously to come. Um what's funny about like all the recent like innovations is it's all around like written words.
Hmm.
I filmed a podcast episode this morning with one of my coworkers just talking about some of this stuff. And there's gonna be like a big, breakthroughs with like other kind of primitives. So like not just like written words, but like images and videos, or like, other just like sensors in an environment. I think that's gonna be where you see like a lot of crazy innovations with like robotics and stuff, is when like what
Yeah.
we do with written words, like when just like image processing gets to that level.
Hmm.
Um, and it is to some degree now, but like I feel like there's still a long way to go around some of that stuff.
Image processing is already with AI is already pretty freaking good. Um, but I don't think it's as good in the LLMs. Like it's more good in like the kind of like the AIs that their main purpose is to like process images. Like
Yeah,
I use it all the time in like vision cameras and stuff like that at work, like AI vision cameras,
yeah.
where it's like that's like their whole purpose is to analyze images.
It's kind of a funny time because what's funny is like a lot of these things being created. It's like how many people really wanted this stuff to exist? Like I don't know, but like it does now. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like whether you want it or not. It's kind of here. So it's
I think it's good. I think it's good for society.
yeah. I think on the whole, I'm definitely like pro technology. I mean, it builds a lot of opportunity, and people, it helps kind of like foster creativity. People can create new stuff, and like generally, when people make new things, like opportunities follow. So
Yeah. I don't know, it makes tasks that were tedious super easy and convenient.
yeah,
That's for sure. Um yeah, I mean just like using AI as a search engine is so much better than the old ways of like Wikipediaing stuff and looking stuff up on Google and having to go to like 5 websites to find what you're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I think back to our high school papers where you had to like do your bibliography and like the way you'd be citing everyone. I'm like, if you do a bibliography these days, like there's no way that process still exists.
Yeah.
How are you even gonna cite a source? It's like, yeah, this AI just told me.
I mean, you just tell ChatGPT like or whatever AI you're using, you're just like, "Hey, can you create a bibliography for me? Like, where'd you
Well,
get this info?"
they used to have, like, whole courses about, like, how to do research, you know? It'd be like,
Yeah, I
"Oh,
know.
I use encyclopedias. Here's how to, like."
MLA format.
Yeah,
MLA format. Let's
yeah,
go.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
used to use EasyBib to create the
Yeah, I
citations or
remember
whatever.
that. Yeah,
And EasyBib now is terrible because you go on there and it's just like it barely works because they've pretty much crammed as many ads as possible
really?
into the space that they have, and it just slows the whole site down.
That's so fu
And you can use EasyBib to basically make like one citation, and then you have to watch like a 30-second ad.
That's such a blast from the past, easybib.com. I haven't been on that website
Yeah.
in 13.
EasyBib.com was like I for all my papers, that's where I was for all the MLA.
What are, like, other early internet websites that just used to be so important?
Um, for school?
I
I
was
have no
trying to think,
idea.
like, in general. You ever, like, addictinggames.com? You ever go on that website? That was
Addictinggames.com?
Yeah,
No.
like, elementary school, that was, like they had all, like, little, video games, like, the first, internet video games.
I'm thinking of like Cool Math Games.
Yeah.
Cool Math Games was a thing. Miniclips.com.
Yeah, mini clips. I remember
Yeah.
that.
That had like a bunch of games on it. Cartoon Network had like a website that had games on it
Yeah.
that you could play.
Remember
Yeah, there was a ton.
there was this thing like Jib Jab, they used to make, like, little clips. Did you ever play the yeah, Addicting Games was classic, I forgot about that. It's Stick RPG, that was, like, the game that we thought was so cool in, like, whatever, 5th grade. It was like you're like a stick figure just walking around the town.
Oh,
It's funny.
man. I mean, all the IO games, like,
You ever play, Agario? Like,
yeah,
yeah,
Igario, that's like the little, like, when you're like the amoeba and you gotta eat everybody.
yeah,
Then there's Slither.io,
yeah.
which is like the snake. It's like a big game of Snake. And then, there's another one called Agarp.io, which is, not the same as, Agar. You're basically like I don't know, you're basically like a tank and you go around and you can upgrade like your cannon and stuff like that. And you
That's what
gotta
we
like kill players.
do a rest period live stream just playing the
Oh
Agar.
yeah. Yeah, I remember when those games were super popular.
Yeah.
I actually used to play them quite a bit.
Yeah, I remember Agario, like, that was during, like, a finals period in college, it was like everybody was playing that game. So it's like you go to the library and it's like everyone just you study for 10 minutes and like, "Okay, you guys wanna play another round?"
Yeah, exactly. I can't really think of any other OG websites
It's funny
that
how
I used to
far
frequent,
Yeah.
but I don't really play like games that much anymore. I need to get
I haven't either.
I had an Xbox for the longest time and then I got rid of it and stopped using it and then I used to play games on Steam, but my old like MacBook basically just stopped working, so and I don't want to get Steam on my work laptop. So, but I used to play like a ton of like map strategy games on there, like I don't know, like Hearts of Iron and Crusader Kings, a bunch of the Total War games.
Oh yeah, I remember Rome Total War. That game used to be really fun.
Yeah,
Or
Rome 2 Total War was the one that I never played the original. I played Rome 2 Total War and it was really cool.
yeah. There was just one game. It was like I think it was called like Sid Meier's Pirates or something. My brother and I used to be really into that. You're like a pirate. And you like whatever. You just go around the Caribbean.
Cool. All the
Backyard baseball was also that was very classic early in the.
I know backyard baseball, yeah. On Xbox, I mean, I liked all the Assassin's Creed games. I liked the Far Cry games.
I just played a lot of Call of Duty.
I used to play a lot of Call of Duty. I used to play a lot of Search and Destroy.
Yeah.
That was my game mode of choice.
Just a sniper.
No, the first Call of Duty that like I actually got like really into is Call of Duty. It's actually a Call of Duty that most people hated, which is Call of Duty Ghosts.
Oh yeah.
And there's a ton of people that hated it, but
that was
was
like
the one I played.
I was in college at that point, so I like wasn't really playing anymore. But I do remember like I played a little bit of Ghosts. The last one that I really played was Modern Warfare 3. That was my senior year of school. But dude, MW2, that was like when I was in like my prime Call of Duty playing days. That and Black Ops. And that was like I had no interest in computers really, but then for MW2, I got really into like just getting our Wi-Fi to be better in our house. That was the first time I ever worked on like a network. I was like, oh, we got to get the Wi-Fi better because I'd be in like the far corner of my house and I'd be like lagging. So I was like, oh, we got to get like this router and this relay and like put them in the right spots in the house. I switched it. Like that's the only reason I became like an engineer because I was like, oh, like this thinking about like a network and a system. I'm like, that was my very first time doing it.
Well, yeah, like when like the first time I got an Xbox to actually be able to play those games like at my house was when Call of Duty Ghosts came out. But I had played Call of Duty before, but it was always just like I go to like a friend's house and play it and do like split screen or something. And I think I played like a little bit of like MW3 and Black Ops. But then like Ghosts was like the first one that was like the newest one when I got my Xbox. And I just remember in Call of Duty Ghosts there was the guard dog, which was basically just like an insta kill if anybody got within like a 5-foot radius of you.
I remember that. I remember that was like one of the big things they were marketing was like the dog with he had like a bulletproof vest on or whatever.
Yeah. But it's just an insta kill. The other thing that was different about Ghosts that they changed in the later games is that all the melee attacks were also insta kill. So you just run around with
Yeah, dude, I missed that.
I used to run around with there was like one where you could have a pistol and then the knife was like right here and it was a quick like action to like stab somebody and it was just insta kill. They got in your face.
They had a Commando Pro you could use and you'd take no fall damage and you could lunge like 20 feet with the tac knife. So you're just like sprinting on. You put on marathon so you could like unlimited sprint, no fall damage, lunge 20 feet, run around the maps.
Well, I used to. The other thing that I thought was funny, when I was a kid playing Call of Duty, was I would jump into like gun game lobbies and I would just run around and knife people.
Yeah,
because when you would knife them, it would demote them. So I'd just run around and knife everybody. I wouldn't win, but I'd have the most kills because I'd just be knifing everybody.
Man, those games were so good. They like at some point someone's got to, a new franchise has to come along that's like that level of fun.
I remember one of the days I was playing, I was laughing hysterically because I was in like a search and destroy lobby, and Call of Duty Ghosts had the IEDs, and you could put like a perk on your you could put like a perk where you got like an extra like 2 like IEDs. So like I could jump into this lobby with like 4 of them, and they were
Yeah.
basically like insta kill. You would run over them, and then they would kill anybody. Like they would just kill you immediately. So I would play search and destroy, and I had enough IEDs to throw 2 on each bomb location, and then like all over the map. And I was just wiping the entire lobby with just IEDs. And there's like a dude on the mic that was like calling me a terrorist because I was killing everybody with IEDs.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Yes,
funny
they were.
the way it's all like evolved in like the 10 years since then or whatever that's been. 10, 15 years. I feel like a lot of like the fun of the internet, like it's not around as much lately with all like the AI language model stuff. It's like it's become way more pervasive and way less just like about just having fun and like the bits,
Yeah,
but
I
I don't know.
agree with that. Yeah. Call of Duty Ghosts also, I think, had the thermal scope, which is extremely OP, and like the ghillie suit.
Yeah. I
But
remember Modern Warfare 2, man, they had you could use danger close, which made your explosives extra explosive. And you'd use the noob tube, so you use the grenade launcher.
oh yeah.
And then you'd use Scavenger
The
Pro.
noob tube.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. So
in noob tube, danger close, and Scavenger Pro, you'd piss off the entire lobby because you just run around, just boom, get like double kills every time you shoot the thing.
yeah, the most OP gun in Ghosts was the Honey Badger. And you could stick a noob tube on the bottom of the Honey Badger. So it's already OP enough, but then you were also grenade launchering people.
Well, they have a new Call of Duty coming out this fall, actually. It's like North Korea.
I have not played Call of Duty in so long. After Ghosts and maybe like some of the Advanced Warfare games, like I basically pivoted hard to just playing Battlefield.
Yeah.
Because I really liked I played Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5. I played all 3 of those games, and I really liked just like the conquest, like being able to use the vehicles and stuff like that. It felt more like actual combat, I guess, rather than just running around shooting people.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely got like pretty repetitive, but I felt like they just like all the fun stuff, like everyone got upset about, so they kind of took them out of the later games, and then everyone slowly left. And then
Yeah, it doesn't feel like Call of Duty is nearly as popular as it once was.
No, I tried playing it again a couple of years ago, and I was like, it's just not the same game. It's hard to get like into it again.
Yeah. Well, that's what I noticed is like in like the early days, like you would jump into a lobby and you're almost guaranteed to find like half the lobby had like mics and you could actually like talk to people.
Yeah.
Now you jump into a Call of Duty lobby and it's just crickets.
Yeah. Completely. Everyone had mics, and like half the guys were terrible. So you could always, you'd always have some free kills. And it was all just like, it was way more chill.
Yeah. In Battlefield, I always hated people that just sat on the edge of the map and sniped. So if I got sniped by somebody, because in Battlefield, it would always show you where they were. So if like got killed by somebody, it would like reveal their location. So then you could like respawn and just run to their location. And you know that they're sniping, so you could just spawn in with like a machine gun, run straight to where they are and kill them. And then I would just sit there because I know they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back because that's their spot, and I would just sit there and wait for them and then kill them again. over and over again.
So funny.
Or like one of the things I would do in Battlefield 4, you would get like one of the like buggy things, and you would throw a bunch of C4 on it, and then you would drive it at like an enemy tank and jump out and then blow it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I kind of want to talk about like data centers
Yeah.
since we're talking about AI. What
Yeah, dude,
is what is your opinion on data centers?
I've been biking up by the one in like the Belgium area,
Yeah.
uh one they're building. It's massive. It's at least like a mile and a half, 2 miles long,
Mm,
and then like probably a half mile wide. Um, I have mixed opinions on it. Like I think it's a good financial opportunity. Like I think that it obviously generates a lot of opportunity to build it. I think there's definitely like a certain level of like just resource requirements for them. Um, I always go back and forth on like the whole internet thing where I'm like, there's certain things about it that are like super beneficial. Like there's certain use cases for AI that are great, right? Like the medical benefits, just like connecting people, helping people like do away with tedious chores. At the
mm,
same time, like a lot of the crap that comes with it is like stuff nobody asked for, right? And so
yeah.
it's like, I think that's where it gets tricky and that's where it can kind of get political because it's like, there is when you have like when you're building a technology that has this kind of concentration of control, you get like a small group of people that really benefit from it. And when it's like when you start having things like eminent domain come into play where like they're taking land from people in some cases to build these things, it's like that's a little goofy.
Yeah, I
And
was gonna bring that up because, um, I just recently this is part of the reason why I wanted to talk about it was like I heard that in Georgia they're building like a data center, and there is this story that broke like recently that I saw where basically it's kind of like what you just said, where basically like these data centers getting built, and data centers like require like ridiculous amounts of like power and water and resources.
yeah,
And the electrical company in Georgia, this like electrical company in Georgia was like gonna upgrade the power grid in this town where they were building this this data center, and they were like basically telling these people that live like these people that own like a house somewhere that like, hey, you need to sell us your house, or we're gonna kick you out of your house with intimate domain.
right,
So you basically don't have a choice. Like you're gonna sell your house or we're gonna kick you out, one or the other, because we
yeah,
gotta make this upgrade to the power grid. And only like maybe 20% of the upgrade is actually gonna go towards benefiting the town, and the other 80% is gonna get eaten by the data center.
yeah, yeah. That's what's tricky with it. Is it's like weird when you have these large internet providers who are like now getting big swaths of land with a lot of, you know, yeah, really, really connected to the grid in like random corners of the country.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. I don't think there's like an easy answer to it because like I think there's a lot of good that comes from it as well. And like we do, there's a lot of opportunity. It's good for America to like be competitive in this space and to be like on the forefront of it.
Mhm.
Uh, at the same time, like there's definitely cases where it's like, all right, well, there's people that don't have like, you got someone in their home or like a farmer or whatever, or just someone paying their bills in the town. It's like a lot of them could care less about what's happening with AI, right?
Yeah.
Or data centers. And next thing you know, it's like they drop a 10 square mile data center in the middle of your town. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that
Well,
changes. Here.
it's just kinda like I mean, really, like, it rubbed me the wrong way because it's kinda just like a big company coming in and basically telling you, like, "This house that you've lived in forever, like, you have to move out. Like, you have like, we're gonna take it from you because and there's nothing you can do about it because
Yeah.
we're much bigger than you. You're not gonna be able to fight us in court." And you're either going to sell it to us or we're going to use the legal system to steal it from you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do think like in general they're pretty good. Like they basically pay 2 or 3x what the properties are worth.
Yeah.
People tend to benefit, but I mean, it was definitely hugely contentious in Port Washington when they were going through that whole process of signing the contract. And I get it on both sides, but I also think that like at the end of the day, you got to like believe that the progress is a good thing and like
Mhm.
it's an opportunity. Like you can't totally just ignore it. Um,
How many people actually how many people they actually need to run a data center?
that's the thing. I don't think I can't be more than like a couple hundred people.
Yeah.
I think like the building process is probably 2 or 3 years, maybe a little more, and like several thousand people.
Yeah.
But like once it's built, you're paying like the electricity, you're paying the utility providers, right? Like the electricity, the water, the um,
Because
some
I feel
other.
like a data center almost runs itself
Yeah, I mean,
once
it
it's
pretty
built.
much does. Other than like you have a few people in there like maintaining the servers, but yeah, once it's up and running, it's all on. It's all automated. Like you have um software that's like supervising all the traffic in the data center. So
Yeah.
it's kind of weird. Like it's kind of dystopian, right? And it's weird to think about too. It's like if humanity just like ceased to be and something came here and saw these like data centers, like what would their interpretation of them be? Like they're so strange, right? Like they're literally just a massive circuit board just
Yeah.
sitting in a field somewhere. It's like, what would they have any idea? Like, could you imagine if we spent like an ancient civilization and found something like a data center? Like, how would we make sense of that? Like the
I
Mayans, like, so yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild. It's definitely a new concept,
yeah.
to have all or so much of the world's information all in one place, just encoded on these servers.
What is
Um,
this like? I guess is there just more data now that we need these big facilities in order to house it? Whereas like in the past we could just store it like in
yeah, what's
other
happening is
places.
there's so much computation happening against our data. So like, yes, there's more data, and the amount of data in the world is constantly growing at some like semi-exponential rate.
Mhm.
Um, but the biggest thing right now with AI is that there's so much computational requirements to train against that data and to access that data to like answer questions and build models.
Mhm.
And that's like what a lot of these servers that are getting installed is it's not necessarily a ton of data storage. Like a lot of these servers are just being used for running algorithms, like just compute basically.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, so it's
To train the data models.
yeah, and like they're just literally doing a ton of math, right? Like constantly
Nice.
again, all the different permutations of how you can generate language. So I mean, it's pretty cool. On the one hand, it's like incredible that we've come up with this entire system that's like fostering the development of AI. On the other
Mhm.
hand, like, it's like something straight out of iRobot. Like
Yeah.
it's a little odd when you really think about it. You're like, do we need these things? Like, is the common man like really asking for these things?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, as AI has progressed, I mean, we haven't really I mean, I don't know if it's just this is like the next evolution of AI, but AI seems to be progressing at a really fast rate, but I haven't noticed them making robots that do stuff for you in your home or
yeah,
out on the streets.
it's coming, but that's definitely like a different. I think about like AI as it's presented today, like when it's just written words.
Hmm.
It, it's a total like superficial layer. Like it's abstracted from like our life, right? Like it's synthetic. Like we're doing it on our phones.
Hmm.
It's all software. And there's definitely like a whole different bridge or gap that has to be bridged for people to like accept robots. Like, yeah, we have like little robots in our homes vacuuming or like mowing our lawns slowly coming.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, to totally embrace like an intelligent robot in your home, like I think that's almost like for that to ever happen, it's not gonna happen with our generation of people. Like as
Yeah.
soon as people in our generation see a robot, they kick that thing over and throw it in the river just because I think it's funny. Like it's yes, it's not gonna happen with our generation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the robots you see today are not they're not like intelligent enough to where like you start to see them as like equal to you in like intelligence. They're just like hunks of scrap metal. It's like, yeah, like
Yeah, no, they're very obviously like programmed.
yeah.
So, but I mean, I don't think we're that far away from a world where like a genuinely intelligent robot could exist. Like we're maybe 20 years, 15
Yeah.
years. So it'll be I don't know. I don't know about how much society would embrace that. I think it's going to be like a long process if it
Yeah.
does ever.
Have you heard of the game Detroit Become Human? Have you seen this
I
game?
heard the name. I've never played it.
It's actually a pretty like cool game. I've never played it either. I've just seen like other people play it. And it's pretty interesting concept, like or like look at like a future with like hyper intelligent like AI robots like just like coexisting in society. Um
Mm.
like is it even possible to get AI to the point where it's like it becomes indistinguishable from just like you and I?
Yeah. It's eerie, right? Like I think
Yeah.
anyone, especially anyone in our generation, like feels the eeriness when they think about it. Like maybe one day there'll be humans that like don't distinguish or feel that kind of layer of it. But to me, it's so eerie. Um, and what's funny about it is like, yeah, like you're saying, we have like 30, 40, 50, 60 years of like human art warning us of this thing, right? Of like one day there will be like even like Star Wars had it, right? Like it's like,
Yeah.
don't drones like um and yet like we continue to foster and try to build it. Because there's a value in it, right? There's clear utility in it.
Mhm.
Uh, but it's weird. So
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not the first guy in line to buy these robots when they become available, but
yeah. No, I mean it's just like in the game like Detroit Become Human, it like explores themes of like the AI like becoming so indistinguishable from like human beings. They could just like cover up like the things that clearly show that they're not human and like completely blend into human society and like nobody can tell the difference.
yeah.
Or like they have the ability to like actually like have emotion, like human emotion almost, but like it just kind of like throws into question like could an AI ever like truly actually like feel any emotion or is it just simulated? Like you would think it's just simulated emotion, so it's not actually real.
Yeah. But if the AI is experiencing it, like at what point does that become
Does it become like real like
real?
emotion?
Yeah, does
Yeah.
it actually feel pain? Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. At the end of the day, they're built with like wires and transistors, not blood and
Yeah.
cells, right? So like we don't, yeah, I don't think we're ever gonna see it the same way because it is like synthetic. But
Yeah, they're not built with like organic matter, but like I don't know, it's kind of like, I mean, basically our brain is just a gigantic computer. It's just instead of wires and transistors, it's made out of like basically the equivalent in organic matter.
yeah, neurons and synapses.
Yeah.
Crazy is like the more I learn about AI and like the more you see it develop, the more fascinating like biology is and just like human um just our the fact that we have like that we are made of organic matter and can do all these things and think all these ways and that we have all these systems like built in our body, it's like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Neuroscience is fascinating and like yeah, the more we try to replicate it, the more it's like, man, the fact that we exist and our brains exist and our bodies can do the things they can do is pretty like outrageous and pretty awesome.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure like our brain is so complicated that there's still aspects of our brain that we just don't understand.
For
Like
sure.
our brain still does things and we just have no idea how it does it.
Yeah.
Like they'll basically say like we think it's this one part of the brain that does it because when you do this one thing and we put you under like a CT scan, we see this part of your brain light up, but how it does it, we have no idea.
Yeah. Dude, it's neuroscience, like, and the people working on it are brilliant. Like a friend of mine he developed like a pain medication that like it was some sort of, I don't know, I'm gonna botch this, but it's like some kind of salt compound that like the way that it gets absorbed by your brain, basically like it blocks out certain chemical reactions within your brain.
Mhm.
And it's just unbelievable they were able to like analyze a brain cell and like a neuron to that degree to figure out like the combination of salts that you could put in that interacted in a certain way that would block out these certain receptors within the neurons so you don't feel pain, and
Yeah.
then like measure that and do it like, and it's like a big probabilistic problem. Like you give enough of that to your brain that it dulls certain kind of pain receptors,
Mhm.
and then like it's just unbelievable the level of depth, and also just like the fact that like human beings could come up with this methodology, right? Like on our own brains and like how to study it. It's like, man, it's
Yeah.
blows your
I
mind like
think
what come up with.
I think sleep is pretty fascinating just from the aspect of like sleep in general is kind of weird, just like
Yeah.
how you spend like a huge chunk of your life just unconscious.
Just turned off,
Um, but
powering down.
like yeah, just like turned off exactly. But it's like fascinating from the standpoint of like it's important because like when you're sleeping, like all the stuff you experience during the day, your brain is just in there just like sorting it into like different spots, just like this information, not important. Into the garbage it goes, and then you forget it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. And like your eyes are just moving behind your eyelids, sorting through it all. Like
Yeah.
it's
Or
crazy.
like dreams or anything like that. Like dreams, like the fact that we like dream is pretty. Yeah. I mean, there's I watched a video that was basically like talking about like the things that like you would experience if your brain didn't like smack you in the face with like an amnesia cloud like the moment you're about to fall asleep, because like everybody always forgets like you think about like you're like, yeah, I went to bed, I think I fell asleep around this time, but you never like remember like the moment that you actually like went to sleep,
Yeah, that you like transition.
and like the like what you would experience like just like your brain, like how you're, I don't know, like as like certain systems are like shutting down as you're like falling asleep, like what you would actually experience if you could remember it.
Yeah, like if you were conscious during that process.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Nah, it's pretty wicked.
And it's insane that like almost all of us, our brains come just out of the box able to do all this stuff naturally. Like we don't have to train them really. Like it just happens.
Yeah.
Pre-installed, It's wild.
Yeah. It was created by an intelligent mind.
For sure. Yeah.
Had to have been. It's
Yeah.
crazy to think that just like um a bunch of space dust just came together to create a brain.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like such a wild body of work that would have to go into that. Like,
It's billions upon billions of years of work, but
yeah.
the fact that it's able to
Oh,
do it at all is
yeah.
is pretty incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, and at the scale that it happens, among all the living things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty mind-boggling.
yeah,
Probably not for us to fully understand. I don't think anybody could ever really wrap their head around it.
yeah, probably
Maybe-
not.
yeah. But
Yeah, I
it
mean,
is.
there's just aspect. I mean, I think we basically understand everything else in the body far more than we understand the brain. The
Yeah.
brain is just so complex.
Yeah. And it's so microscopic. Like the interactions in your brain that lead to thoughts and emotions
Mhm.
are so they're so fast and real time. It's an electrical system, right? So like it happens literally at the speed of light.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, it's so fast and complicated, difficult to measure.
Yeah.
Dude, the Neuralink stuff. I haven't been looking at this too much, but The fact that like
That's Elon Musk's thing, right?
yeah,
I heard that the Neuralink helps people that are like paralyzed because you can they can basically have the Neuralink in their head and they can almost like I don't know, can they like control things with their thoughts?
yeah, they interface with your like they literally have figured out a way to draw signals out of your brain. So like I think it takes a lot of training, but like they can basically get clear reproducible signals by like having you think certain things, then having that change the way like program the way that the link controls things. So, like the people like one of the things that they'll say is like, like picture a cursor moving to the right and somehow they're able to like distinguish that signal from like picturing a cursor moving to the left.
Yeah.
Uh like then they can figure out how to distinguish those signals and program the whatever the peripheral device is that they plug the Neuralink into on the other end.
Yeah.
But yeah, like eventually it could help people who can't speak, help people who can't move, like pretty crazy what it could unlock.
That is pretty crazy. I heard that and the only reason I know this too is because my brother has epilepsy, so like
Yeah.
it's basically like a block in like the electrical signals. It's like a traffic jam and like electrical signals that like go through the brain. And like
Uh,
you could almost use like Neuralink and stuff like it. I mean, they already have stuff like it where basically it's like a pacemaker for your brain where every single time it detects like signals getting jammed, it like sends an electric pulse that like corrects it. Kind of like a pacemaker,
That's wild.
but like for your brain. And it
Okay.
like keeps your electrical like the signals to your brain in check. And it could it like potentially like prevents I mean like if it gets advanced enough, it could potentially like just completely stop epilepsy from happening.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and I feel like you could easily do that with Neuralinks. It's already like, I mean, Neuralink is reading signals as opposed to reading signals and then like making adjustments with like certain electrical pulses and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
I don't see why
Yeah.
it couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be like I'm guessing like the whole signaling and like what they're actually able to draw out versus like what someone's thinking is like very basic right now. But even being able to get like any kind of reproducible signal out of your
Hmm.
like reproducible, measurable, and actionable, like yeah, that's crazy. And eventually it'll be like bidirectional, I'm sure. So like, yeah.
That would,
Like, was that you telling me about like it was either Black Mirror or something, but like where you can run ads through your Neuralink? Or like it was like a Black Mirror episode where they're like everyone gets an implant and they charge you for a subscription fee. Uh,
oh,
And then they're like, yeah, like one day people who don't want to pay the fee can do like the ads program. And slowly but surely, like everyone starts running ads on their brain. So like you'll be mid conversation, you start like saying an ad for like car insurance or something.
that sounds dystopian as fuck. No, I saw there was a movie that I saw that was like crazy where it's like it was like a future where like medical care had gotten like so advanced they got like all these like fancy implants that can basically like replace organs
Uh-huh.
and it'll be like this thing where you know you need to get like this surgery for like a new heart and they'll give you like this super advanced new heart but like it costs you like an arm and a leg and
Yeah,
then if you can't like make a payment on the medical payment they can just turn your heart off and you die.
yeah, that's crazy.
Like they put the heart in and it like works, but as soon as you miss a payment, they just like, "Oh, sorry, we're turning your
Well,
heart off."
this has been terminated. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, because you could imagine a world. It's kind of like how, like, when everyone turns 18 today, whatever, you get your wisdom teeth out.
Mhm.
You can imagine a world one day where they're like, yeah, like at different ages, you get like your different implants installed or whatever. Because it's like, hey,
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other lens to look at this is just like using technology for like using it to like augment human abilities like
Yeah,
I don't think the Neuralink is necessarily like augment like it's I guess it's augmenting human ability. I mean, It's just reading
Like
electrical signals in your brain and then doing things.
Elon's ultimate vision is just completely that one day, yeah, your brain is like integrated to like a network, right? And like you can get information out of your Neuralink in real time. Like the way we communicate one day, generations from now, might not even be spoken word. It might just be like signals on your Neuralinks back and forth. Or
You can
like,
literally you know, I'm imagining, like, talking to somebody, but, like, almost like real life telepathy.
yeah,
Like, you're just like you can just think it and then, like, send it through the Neuralink network to somebody and then just, like, hear it'll be,
yeah.
like, literally voices in your head that's
Dude, this is like a rabbit hole I've gone down a little bit recently because like these guests have been on Joe Rogan, but like they used to run all these like CIA experiments on people that were like all about like telepathic communication. So
Mhm,
like they take people that like had some sort of evidence that like they were telepathic and they'd run
mhm,
like experiments on them and try to like prove that they were communicating with each other and like figure out what this substrate was that they were tapping into, right? Like it's pretty fascinating. It sounds like completely, like you gotta get out your tin hat for the for the discussion, but like,
yeah,
uh, it's kind of wild. Like when you hear these people talk about like the experiments being run, um, and like a lot of these people are pretty convicted that there's like true evidence that, especially like people that are like some of the test subjects that were nonverbal, so like they never learned how to speak in their life.
mhm,
Uh, that was like a common pattern of people that like could show evidence of being telepathic was they couldn't speak. So like they were very observant of like other things in the environment, basically.
yeah,
Um, anyways, it's kind of wild. And like an area of research that obviously like, the CIA was like, oh, we can do covert stuff if we could figure out how to
yeah.
reverse engineer it.
I know that, like, people that you lose a sense what happens if, like, you lose your I don't know, you lose your sight, for example, the other senses get, like, boosted to compensate for the fact that you can't see, so, like, all of a sudden, you have, like,
You're
almost
right.
superhuman levels of hearing that, like, a normal person wouldn't have, like, you can hear, like
Yeah.
or, like, your sense of touch is, like, way more sensitive because, like, you can't see.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, you could imagine like you kind of extrapolate that, and it's like, well, if you're if you're nonverbal and I don't know, maybe there's other maybe you have some other kind of sensory experience where, like, you're tapping into some other thing. It's
Yeah,
kinda funky to think about, but
yeah. I'm, like, imagining, like, with the Neuralink, what if you just wanted to watch YouTube or something, but, like, in your head, and you just, like, tell the Neuralink, and it would just, like, display the
yeah,
video, like, in your eyes.
dude, like, if Neuralinks become mainstream, yeah, like, half the people are just gonna be like potatoes, like, we're not gonna do anything, we're just gonna sit there,
Yeah.
consuming whatever, talking to whoever about whatever at all times.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's
I
like
got, like, my brother I remember, my brother, like this was a while ago, but, like, he probably still has it, but he's got, like, the Oculus Rift or whatever, the, like, the
what's
fully,
that?
like, 3D, like, environment
Okay,
stuff
yeah,
or, like, the games and, like, whatever. It's like the headset that you put on, and it's like virtual reality. That's what I'm thinking of.
mhm,
Virtual reality. Um, where it's like it covers your whole field of vision, so, like, it actually looks like you're in, like, the virtual environment. It's pretty
yeah,
sick, but
yeah. They are kinda sick, I feel like they never really caught on, but, like, they had a moment where they were like,
I thought it was sick. Like, I was playing some of the games on there, and I was like, "Oh my gosh,"
dude, I
because
thought it
it's like real. Like, it's not real, but like perceptually, it's like real life.
yeah, it's definitely like a next level of engagement, like, it's fun.
Yeah,
I feel like it never got, like, that mainstream. I mean, there was, like, a year or 2 where I feel like it was, like, blowing people's minds, but then, like, I don't know, I feel like there hasn't been much. I haven't heard much, I guess, the last few years about it.
yeah. I think the reason I brought it up is because, like, with the Neuralink stuff, um, there's like plenty of There's like plenty of shows that I've seen where it's like different from just like virtual reality. It's like uploading your consciousness into like a game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah. But
Well, Meta was like, and Zuckerberg were so gung ho about the Oculus and the metaverse like 5-6 years ago.
mhm,
And then I feel like it just completely died. Yeah, they discontinued the Rift in April 2021.
okay.
So like I guess they just like stopped developing it.
Well, it wasn't the Rift. My brother had the Quest.
Okay.
It was I don't know if it was the Oculus Quest. It probably was the Oculus Quest.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what happened to Oculus. I think Meta bought Oculus is now Meta Quest. Okay. Yeah, I guess they're still making them.
Yeah. I just remember when they came out, they were like stupid expensive,
Yeah.
like unbelievably expensive.
Right now they're $350.
Yeah, see, that's a lot cheaper. That's a lot more reasonable.
Yeah.
They are fun though. They're really fun.
Yeah, I actually have one that my brother and I both got him and played him for like it was like 1 3-month stretch and then we
Mhm.
just kind of fell out of it. But
Yeah. I mean, the games were never like realistic. They were never like I never played a game where I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's like real life." Like it still looked like virtual. Like the only thing that was cool about it was that it covered your whole field of view. So it like look it for all intents and purposes, it felt like you were in that world.
there was a game that we play that was like paintball. So like you felt like you were playing paintball. And
Yeah.
it was pretty fun. I mean, it was very clearly like cartoonish, but yeah, like you're saying, even just like having the physically like being moving around when you're playing, it's kind of like the Wii or whatever, but like the next version of it.
Yeah.
Um, it adds something when you feel like you're immersed like that.
Yeah. I mean, you take it to another level if you also use it with headphones,
Yeah.
because then it's like you have the auditory stuff too. But yeah,
And what were those other
the only game I played on the Quest that actually like was the most realistic was like this mountain climbing one where literally like I would be doing it and I got like a physical reaction from like looking down at like how high up I was, like how high up you were in the game, because it like it would make like my palms sweat. Like I was doing it and it was like make like my palms sweat, like I was actually climbing and like I would fall.
the dude, there was like a next generation of like VR goggles that got released that was like $3,000 or something. I cannot remember what it was called. Maybe that was the
For
Quest, but I feel like it was something else. That was like supposed to just be like they were like they interacted with everything you did. Like they had like little menus that would they were supposed to be like completely augmented reality.
augmented reality. I know Google released a headset. Or maybe it was Apple. Apple, I think, released a headset.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was. Yeah, the Apple Vision Pro. Thank you. That's what
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, those things were crazy.
I remember seeing like you could like FaceTime people on it and it would like try to build like because it's like not actually like a screen that like it's not like a phone where it has like a camera where it's like looking at you. It's like you did
Yeah,
like all this
I
stuff
mean,
where it would like try to figure out like what your face looked like and then it would like reconstruct it for like the FaceTime and they looked so wonky.
yeah.
They were like funny to look at.
Yeah, I remember like one of the early pitches for the Meta Quest was like when everyone was working remote for COVID, they were like, "Oh, like you can have meetings and see everybody and feel like you're in the room with all your like coworkers."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like just what you said. It was like very first of all, everyone was like goofier. It was like all their like little avatars.
Yeah.
It's like we're not gonna take work meetings like this. Like, who's gonna do that?
It seems like it feels more like we're about to all the little avatars. It feels more like we're about to jump into a Call of Duty lobby than
Yeah.
have a work meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, like, what the next big breakthrough is, or, like, what the next big tech drop will be.
Yeah, the thing about AI that's kind of fascinating, that we were talking about it is it's like the one piece of technology that I feel like doesn't really have a limit on where it can be implemented. Like most technology at this point has just been like, all right, it has like its own like thing that it's like used for and like that's what it's used for. But like AI can be integrated into literally everything.
Yeah, it's pretty, like, omnipotent, because just yeah,
Yeah.
anywhere you have words, basically, today, you can do, yeah, like, language processing and, like,
Yeah.
images and videos.
Hmm.
So it's yeah, I think there's definitely some level of it is, like, a bit of, like, a fad. I think, like, there's definitely a level of, like, a bubble around it just because it has grown so quickly.
Hmm.
But there's gonna be a lot of stuff that spins off out of this whole, like, kinda revolution.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
you're gonna have to have the natural. I mean, I don't feel like it's a huge leap to go from written word to spoken language, and then
Oh, yeah,
if
sure.
it's able to process spoken language, then it's able to take commands in spoken language and then perform tasks based on that. I don't feel
Yeah,
like that's like a huge leap.
it's pretty good about that right now. I feel like there's definitely, like, the if you talk spoken to ChatGPT, you put it in voice mode or whatever,
Mhm.
it's kinda dumb, like, it feels like you're talking to something that's kind of artificial and stupid, but,
Yeah.
like, it's gonna keep getting better,
Mhm.
and kinda learn your patterns of, I don't know, just how to be, so,
Yeah.
yeah, interesting. It's an exciting time. I'm grateful to have been born in the generation that we're a part of, because we got to see the world before all this stuff pretty much,
Yeah.
and got to see it take hold, and,
Yeah. It's pretty incredible, like, even in my lifetime, how much technology has just gotten better. Because I like make fun of my parents all the time when they talk about the days of, like, the the car phone or the brick phone thing or the, like, flip phones, like, not even like a iPhone or anything like that, or, like, floppy disks or, like, computers that are, like, so, like,
yeah,
obsolete now, and it's like even in, like, my lifetime when I was, before like, when I was, like, 7 or 8 years old, like, iPhones didn't even exist yet.
yeah. Yeah, and in our parents' lifetimes, like, computers, they didn't have, like, personal computers when our parents were kids.
Yeah. Yeah, and when
Like,
I was a kid, like, that's what I mean, like, they were still using, like, BlackBerries and, like, flip phones
yeah,
when
I
I
mean,
was a kid.
we had, like, our family we had our computer room, and it was, yeah,
Mhm.
like, your desktop computer in a dedicated spot in the house, and that was, like, where you'd go to write your
Yep.
papers in class.
Yeah,
And,
I mean,
like,
that computers used to be like that, like, even, like, it quickly advanced like, throughout my childhood, but, like, even, like, early on, like, we still had, like, those big, like, giant computers that, like, are, like, not
yeah.
even, like you think about it now, it's, like, so obsolete, but
And you used to really go out of your way to, like, transcribe something to put it into, like, a written saved file, and
yeah.
now everything like, we're filming a podcast right now on a platform that's recording,
Yep.
right? Where everything you're doing on, like, Slack and on or when you're, with your work, any text you're typing, like, there's just stuff being saved everywhere. It's all digitized.
Yeah.
Pretty unbelievable.
It is pretty unbelievable. Yeah, I still remember when the iPod Shuffle came out. That was my first taste of Apple, was the iPod Shuffle. I
My
thought I
first
I thought it was the coolest thing in the world when I got it.
yeah, the little shuffle.
Yeah.
had the Samsung Juke was like this phone that it kind of opened up like a pocket knife or something. Like it would
Mhm.
flip open, and it was supposed to be like really music compatible.
Mhm.
First phone that I got that was not like just like your super old school
Mhm.
flip phone.
Yeah.
I think it was so cool.
I remember the iPod Shuffle being really cool, which is just like this little like square thing that like played music. And
Yeah,
then and then it quickly went from that to the iPod Touch, which I remember getting the iPod Touch, and that was music, but then you could also play games on it.
yeah,
And it was more like the phone you see today with like the touch screen and stuff like that.
yeah. Did you ever have a phone that had like a full keyboard?
Nope, never did.
That was a big one when I got off of the T9 and onto a full keyboard. You flip your phone open and have a keyboard. It was like a
Yeah.
little Nintendo DS.
Yeah, I remember my dad was telling me about like, you know, obviously like for most of his life or like a good chunk of his life, texting wasn't really a thing like on a phone. Like a phone was for calling. And then you had like a separate device called a pager to basically do what like texting is now.
Yeah, to notify someone that you want their attention.
Yeah. Notify somebody that you want their attention. But that's kind of I mean, that's kind of like what it was. But
Yeah,
now now basically they took what was a bunch of individual devices and now it's all just one device.
I will say those were kind of there's definitely a nostalgia factor to it, but it was a good time before everything was on the internet.
Yeah. I like with games and stuff like that, I do kind of miss the aspect of like going and like buying like a game and it being like in disc form and like it's like you own it. Whereas like
Yeah,
now it's like you buy the console and it's like it's just so that you can download games onto the console and it's like you bought it, but like do you even really own it? Because like the Xbox could just say like we're taking away this software now, so you can't use it anymore.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, that was
there's
so. It was more like communal when you all went to I don't know, like when you would just go to Best Buy or the store or whatever. Like I liked when you would always go out to shop for whatever, get a physical
I
copy.
remember when the Nintendo Wii came out, just like how hyped that was.
Yeah, or when you'd go to like a Redbox to get your to find a DVD or to get a movie. Or
Yeah.
like way back in the day, you go to a block.
Redbox killed Blockbuster,
Yeah,
and then streaming killed Redbox.
yeah. Netflix just took it all over.
Redbox had its day. It's kind of short lived though.
Dude, I mean, I remember when my family first subscribed to Netflix, it was when they were still sending discs in the mail. So you'd like go onto your Netflix account and say like what movie you wanted to get next, and you could have like 3 discs under your name at a time or whatever,
Hmm.
and you'd like get them. They'd ship them in like 2 days.
Yeah, we still had. What are they even called? For some reason, I'm like it's been so long since I've had to use one that I like forgot what it's called. It's not a DVD. It's like those old things where it's like it'd be like a movie, but it would like be this little black box that had like these like little like wheels in them, and you'd stick it into this thing, and it would like play that. What is that called?
VCR.
Is that a VCR? I don't know.
It was like when I had like the brick discs with the 2 little spinner, like with the reel, the tape inside.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, the VCR.
Oh, the VCR. There you go. Nice.
Yeah. No, no, no. VHS.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. VHS. Yep. I remember those, but I didn't like. It's been so long since I've had to use one that it's like I forgot what they were.
I mean, I remember like everything that's like now available on DVD and VHS.
Yeah.
It was like at the end of every commercial.
Huh. Now it's just like nobody uses DVDs or VHS or anything like that anymore. Like everything is just like streamed and on demand.
which is like more magical. But dude, like there was something about it when you had like your little, like the mechanical player of like that would feed the tape through. Like it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That existed.
That's what I was saying. There was just something about like actually like owning something physical and it not being just all digital.
Yeah, and the way it would like turn that thing into a movie that you can
Mhm.
play box.
Exactly.
Uh,
At the time, it was pretty. I mean, I'm sure at the time when the VHS came out, everybody thought that was magical.
yeah,
That they can just fit like a 2-hour movie in a little black box.
crazy.
But yeah,
CD players and your Walkmans and yeah, things change quick.
yes they do. Yes they do.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah, we're an hour and a half.
you want to call it?
We call it a wrap for tonight.
I think we can call it a wrap.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, good. I feel like we really took inventory on all the technology that we've
Yeah.
seen in 20 years.
I mean, we covered AI. We covered, I mean, we talked about LLMs quite a bit, I feel like.
Yeah.
But we also talked about Call of Duty. We had a little side conversation about Call of Duty.
I feel like AI, like it's a lot more interesting when you look at not just like look at the product as it is today, but like look at it in the context of like the development of technology. Yeah, like the things that we've lived through, like the
You look at it from the context of like, this is where we were and this is where we are today. And
yeah,
then you just see how much progress has been made. And it's like, wow.
yeah, and how much it's changed just like the way people go about their day-to-day life.
Well, I feel like advancements in technology are just going to get quicker and quicker and quicker because
Yeah.
at this point it's kind of exponential. Like it's just going to hit a point where it's just like technology is just going to explode at such a rate that's like, whereas like in the past it was just kind of like slowly.
Yeah.
What's like that math function? That's logarithmic.
Yeah.
Like a
It's like, yeah,
logarithmic.
exponential pretty much.
Exponential, yeah, where it's like slow at the start and then it's
Yeah.
yeah.
It's what's crazy too is like an exponential, like the next generation, their perspective, whatever like the thing becomes 60 years from now, 50 years from now, the development of whatever that future thing is today, when they look back on it, they're gonna be like, man, remember when things were moving so slow?
Yeah, I know.
Like to us, it's like it already seems insane, and that's like the same experience our grandparents had, right? Like when they saw the VHS tapes, they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, like I remember when like they first came out with TVs, or like when we were getting cars, like whatever it is."
Well, I tell my kids I remember a time before the iPhone. They're gonna be like, "You're just old and crazy." I don't know.
And you're like, "What's an iPhone? Is that like a Neuralink? But you hold it in your hand?"
Yeah. What's an iPhone? Oh, it was like a box that you actually hold in your hand, and then you could like talk to people.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, you didn't just talk to people in your head?"